Hey gang, AV here, and welcome to my review of the Boss Fight Studios Vitruvian Hacks Orc Conqueror Female Orc Strategist. Here she is in the package. As you can see, she is a carded figure. If you're curious about what HACK stands for, it's Highly Articulated Character Kit System. As I've explained in other videos, that basically means that the vast majority of her accessories as well as her body parts are interchangeable with other figures in the line, which makes kit bashing and full-blown customization very easy to do with these figures. This is also a collector-friendly package, which basically means two things. One, you can remove the figure by bending up these plastic tabs or removing the card, and the figure will come right out, allowing you to display the figure and then put the figure back if you wish to store it or display it carded. The other thing that having collector-friendly packaging means is that sometimes people will forget to put all the accessories back in the package. So before you purchase these things, you should ask a few questions, make sure all the items are there, and so on and so forth, just to protect yourself. So anyhow, this is the front of the package. Original artwork, very nice as usual with the figures in this line. It's all collectible. So this channel's not for kids. Don't want to get slapped with a fine, even though I'm looking at toys, but you know, anyway. This is the back of the package. As you can see, she's got a file card, which I love because I'm a big G.I. Joe fan. And as you can see, the file card is roughly the same dimensions as the old school G.I. Joe file cards used to be. If you'd like to read it, feel free to pause the video and do so now. And I think that's an excellent touch. I love the fact that they not only include the file cards at all, but go to the trouble of including a backstory to give you a lot more playability out of your characters, to really flesh out the characters and give them that much more depth. I love that about this line. Absolutely love it. Here are some other characters available in the line itself. I actually do have all of these, and I will be reviewing them in due time. This is the Orc Conqueror, which we're looking at now. I've reviewed a Felonious. I've reviewed that Orc Conqueror up there already, and I will be reviewing the rest in the future. So be sure to keep checking back with my channel, as I will be releasing these a little at a time throughout the next few weeks. Here's a QR code that will take you right to their online store, so feel free to use that if you wish. And without further ado, let's get the figure out and have a look at her. So we're just going to bend this flap down on this end, which is, I find, the best way to gain access to these packages. So just slide that out of the way, and then pull the figure tray out. Okay, let's get this out of the way. All right, here she is. Let's look at her accessories first. She comes with the standard Orc shield, which, as you can see, has some excellent detail, both painted and sculpted in the front and the back. Has these two hoops for you to lace a string through so that you can put this on the figure's back if you wish. It even has the recessed area in the middle for the figure's hand, just like a real buttressed shield would have. As I demonstrated with my other Orc Conqueror review, if you happen to have an elf character who comes with a bunch of arrows, you can actually wedge these arrows in these cracks to make it look like the orc has been fired upon, which I love. I love that. You can even use a little bit of putty to really make it fit in there secure, but I love the fact that you can do that. So we're going to put that off to the side there. Let's take the figure out. Here is her club, which, as you can see, is pretty gnarly. Looks like dragon's claws or giant teeth or something. Just wrapped in leather or around a stick. Awesome. I mean, this looks exactly like something you would see an orc carry. Very, very cool. Very cool. She also comes with a knife, which is up here. And just like this sword that the male orc came with, this just appears to be like a piece of slate or something that has been crafted into a blade. Again, just like what you would expect an orc to carry. Here is her alternate head sculpt, which I will keep off to the side. And then in here, yeah, okay, it's just the figure stand and the hands. She comes with 2 sets of grasping hands. Now, the reason why she does that is because, as you look at the figure, this particular set of hands bends up and down at the wrist. That set of hands in here will bend in and out. So you have both ranges of motion at the wrist, as well as the swivel is up and down with the hands on the figure and in and out with the extra hands that are included in the package. I love the fact that they do that, and quite frankly, it is something that a lot of reviewers I've seen on YouTube have overlooked. So I'm pointing it out in my videos to make sure that everybody knows why they're there. Now that we've gone over the accessories, let's have a look at our 2 face sculpts. So the unmasked one is the one that's mostly featured on the cover art. And it's a nice face sculpt. Painted eyes. She's got somewhat of a mullet. Tied back. Pointed ears. The hint of her teeth showing through her lips there. Very cool. But of course, how can you not like that one? I mean, that's awesome looking. And you can see her painted eyes in there. Very, very, very cool. Okay. Let's see. Nothing really on her belt to store her knife with. That's unfortunate. All right. Anyhow, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go over her articulation. So her arms can do a full 360. This one's going to be hindered slightly by her shoulder armor, but this one will do a full 360. Can go up quite a ways. This one can bend about 90 degrees and down almost 90 degrees. Does a full 360 swivel at that joint as well. I went over the wrists. They do a full 360 and bend up and down or in and out depending on which set you have in. She does have an ab crunch. It's a ball joint, which gives her a good, very good range of motion there. She does have a hip articulation, a hip swivel, but it is a little tight to get in there. But it is there. There we are. Her hips can go out about that far. It does look a little funky because of her belt, but you can push that down and make that work if you wished. She can do the can about like that. Her knees are double jointed and go back about that far. Not too bad. Ankles pivot up and down, as well as have a rocker joint. As you can see, they don't do a full swivel, they rock. All right. Very nice articulation on the female figures, just like the male figures I've also reviewed. These figures are fantastic. As I've mentioned before, all of her armor can come off, and her body parts can even be interchangeable. So you can army build these as well, or just customize the crap out of them by either kit pashing or taking them apart to paint. These are very good figures. She will hold her accessories exceptionally well. The fingers, as you can see, they do bend, but they're not rubbery. They will hold an item. Very good. Let's do size comparisons now. Here she is standing next to a modern G.I. Joe. As you can see, she's about the same height as a standard modern 4-inch figure at the 1/18 scale. Here she is next to a vintage G.I. Joe. As you can see, she is noticeably taller because the vintage figures are 3 3/4 inches. So she definitely fits in better with the modern figures than she does with the vintage ones. All in all, excellent figure, great accessories, good sculpt, great articulation. If I haven't said so already, she is a carded Boss Fight Studio figure, which means that she'll run you about $25. But I think she's well worth it, especially if you army build or customize. She comes with an awful lot of armor pieces and whatnot that you can use for other things. If you like this video, check out my channel. If you like what you see there, then please subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.